The media briefing room at the U.S. State Department was filled with amusement on Monday when a journalist's well-timed comment about America's involvement in other countries left a senior official from the Biden administration struggling to find a suitable comeback.
Yeah.
One last thing on this. You think it was necessary for the government to resign in order to
That I'm
move
not going to comment. I will let the Palestinian Authority speak to that. I don't think it's appropriate for me to comment on that from here. Go ahead.
Thank you, Matt. Two questions. One to follow up on Saeed's question. So you're aware that the UN humanitarian organizations in Gaza said that 85,000 Gazans could die as a result of starvation, disease, or bombing. So what practically can the administration do to alter this reality? So you won't be seen as literally repeating rhetoric when you said we ask Israelis to allow human aid organization to expedite the visas, to allow trucks to come, etc. Because these things on the ground does not happen. So can we make sure that these people won't face this death either by starvation or by disease?
So there are two incredibly important things we are trying to pursue to alleviate the suffering of the humanitarian people. One is, as I said, to increase the flow of humanitarian assistance into Gaza to make sure it's sustained and to break down any obstacles to actually being delivered to those who are in need. But there is a second, and that work is ongoing. It's something we've been working on for some time, and there, as you know, we are involved at a really kind of granular technical level with the governments of Egypt, the government of Israel, and international partners in the region, and have been engaged with it really since the immediate days after October 7th. But there is another way that we could help alleviate the suffering of the Palestinian people, and that is to achieve a humanitarian pause that would allow more humanitarian assistance to come in to Gaza and would allow more humanitarian assistance to get to those who need. It would allow people better freedom of movement to move around Gaza and get to humanitarian assistance. And we have worked with the governments of Egypt and Israel and Qatar to achieve such a proposal, and we need Hamas to say yes. And so if Hamas wants to alleviate the suffering of the Palestinian people, they could agree to the proposal that we have put forward to achieve a humanitarian pause and get more humanitarian assistance in. So when I see people calling for more to be done to allow humanitarian assistance in, we fundamentally agree with that. And everyone inside the United States government that is responsible for this brief is working on it, but Hamas plays a role too.
So
And Hamas plays a role too, and the people that are calling for us to do more should be calling for Hamas to get out of the way and allow more humanitarian assistance to come in as well.
The government is fine with all the conditions that will allow humanitarian.
There are issues that we have to work through with the government of Israel all the time, and we've been quite clear. We've spoken to them from this podium a number of times. The secretary has spoken to them. I'm just saying that's not the only impediment to humanitarian assistance getting in. If Hamas would agree to a humanitarian pause, a temporary ceasefire, that would go a long ways to alleviating the immediate suffering of the Palestinian people.
Okay. My second question is, the secretary was asked during the trip to comment about the Netanyahu plan for Gaza. And he said he's not going to comment because he hasn't seen it. So the U.S. government has not seen it officially. The White House dismissed it somehow as disagreement among friends. This plan, I'm sure you've seen it, not officially, but you read about it, fundamentally clashes with everything that the administration calling, including just now when you talked about two-state solution. So is really the two-state solution a mirage, considering Netanyahu himself and his government don't believe in it at all? So who are you going to implement it with?
So with respect to the plan, first of all, again, we have not, you're right that we have not engaged with the government of Israel. We've seen press reporting, but we haven't sat down and had a detailed conversation with the government of Israel about this plan yet. So I will refrain from specific comment until we've had the chance to do so. But we have been very clear about what our position is with respect to the governance of Gaza moving forward when it comes to questions about the reoccupation of Gaza and the reduction or potential reduction of any territory of Gaza. And we'll continue to be very clear about that publicly and privately. And when it comes to this question of the two states, all we can do, and you've heard me say this before, is present our vision for peace and security in the Middle East and make clear to the government of Israel and make clear to the people of Israel that there is a path forward for lasting security, for better relations with Israel's neighbors, and they have to take it. And if they're ready to do it, we are ready to work with them on how to achieve that vision.
But you have so many tools. Just my last
yeah.
follow-up, sorry. But you have so much leverage over the Israelis, and this is fundamental vision of the president. So you can use all the leverage you want, including weapons that you sell to Israel, to make sure that this plan is at least on the right path for implementation, considering we have like short time between now and November.
So one thing I will say about that people often tend to forget is that Israel, like other countries in the region, is a sovereign country that makes its own decisions. The United States does not dictate to Israel what it must do, just as we don't dictate to any country what it must do. We present what we believe are the. We present what we believe are the. Good one, Matt. We present. No, I mean, but come on, yeah. We present stand-up hour in the briefing room. We present what we believe are the best proposals to achieve peace and security. And we will continue to do that, but Israel has to make its own decisions, just as every sovereign, independent country has to make its own decisions.
Now, what did you say? What did you mean when you just said that they have to take it?
They have to. It doesn't mean that they have to take it in that we can dictate to them. What I meant by they have to take it is we can present all the options in the world. We can't control whether they take it or not.
Okay.